Guys, this is just a rant about my favorite places to visit in Japan. So, number one is Nagano, specifically Kamikochi. If you Google Kamikochi, right, you will just be astonished by its beauty, like the emerald-colored water, the snow-covered mountains everywhere. It's like out of like a fairy tale movie. It's like out of a, I don't know, it reminds me of like Switzerland or like a scene from like Lord of the Rings or a Studio Ghibli movie. Kamikochi, Nagano is definitely like for me, like one of the most scenic and most beautiful places that exist in Japan. And I highly recommend that you visit this place. So please Google it, Kamikochi, Nagano. Now, the next place that I recommend that's my favorite, as one of my favorites, is Ehime. So Ehime Prefecture is located in like Shikoku area, and the reason why I like Ehime is because of the various like landscapes and the mountainous regions that it has. Yeah, Ehime is also home to Ishizuchi mountain, which was for me one of the most challenging mountains to have climbed because of the amount of chains that are there to get to the top, right? And obviously there's an option for like an easier route where you can just walk around, but I just wanted to challenge myself, and I did all of the chains to the top, and by the time I got to the top, my legs were just cramped up. I was in a lot of pain, but it was totally worth it because of the views and just the sheer scale of how high I was, and yeah, it was just amazing. And I highly recommend that you visit this place as well. And now the next place I want to recommend is Kyushu. Kyushu is like volcano haven in Japan. It's like there's volcanoes everywhere. There's geysers that are sprouting sulfur in the middle of the forest. Like, it's really cool to see, it is definitely one of my favorite places as well in terms of scenery, in terms of beauty, in terms of the landscape, and even the food there is really good as well. All right. And the next place that I really like is Himeji. And you know, Himeji is quite a touristy place, but I feel like it's not on everyone's bucket list when they come to Japan. But the reason why I really like Himeji is because it has a mixture of a city as well as like a countryside type of vibe, and it's not so large. And when I go into Himeji, like, it's one of the few cities where I don't feel like I'm in a bustling city like Tokyo or Osaka, where it's just like thousands and thousands of people everywhere and like big tall skyscraper buildings. Himeji is a little different. Himeji is like it has like a bunch of like it has a castle, and it has like buildings that are not too high up, and it doesn't always feel super crowded compared to like the major cities. And Himeji just has this, I don't know, just this sense of this essence, this magical essence. Whenever I go there, I always just feel really like peaceful and stuff like that. Now, the next place that I recommend that everyone should visit is Awaji Island. Awaji Island is located south of Kobe, across the Akashi Bridge. And I really love Awaji because it feels like I'm in the Caribbean when I'm there. You know, the weather is pretty good there as well, and the beaches there are beautiful, and just the scenery, especially on the south side of Awaji Island, the scenery is just mind-blowing. Like, to see the sea in the distance and to see like the small little islands that are around there, is just really beautiful to see, right? And I always love going there. Now, the next place that I recommend, not even recommend, that I really like out of all the places in Japan, is Okayama. Okayama is about 2 hours, about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Himeji. And the reason why I like Okayama is because of a place called Ushimado. Ushimado is like a kind of like an area where it's like the seaport, right, of Okayama, and I swear, like, some of the most beautiful sunsets have occurred there that I've seen, and I really love going to Okayama because of that. And yeah, that's one of my places. And another place that I really like in Japan, and I always love visiting there whenever I have the chance, is obviously Kyoto. And Kyoto, you know, it speaks for itself. Like, it feels like you've just gone back in time in Japan, right? You know, they have hundreds and hundreds of temples and shrines that you can visit, and they all have their own separate aesthetic appeal to it, right? And the various you know, the buildings look really old, and you know, they don't look too modernized. And Kyoto is also, it's not like one of those cities like Tokyo or Osaka where it just feels so hustling and bustly, right? Like, you have the there are places in Kyoto where you can just go off the beaten path and you may not see anyone, right? And Kyoto has a lot of those places because it's so wide. And that's what I really love about Kyoto, is that it's a very, even though it's considered like a, you know, a city in a sense, it's still quite wide, and like you still feel like the magical sense of Japan when you're there, compared to like being in Osaka or Tokyo, right? And I'm trying to think of another place that I really like about Japan, because I've been to a lot of places here within, you know, 4 years of me living here. Yeah, Shikoku is definitely beautiful for sure. Oh, I really like Hakone. Hakone is not too far away from Mount Fuji. Hakone is just like, it's beautiful. It's you know, it like, there's a lot of ryokans, which are like Japanese inns, and it kind of reminds me of being in Kyoto as well, because it kind of feels like you're going back in time during like the Edo period of Japan, or the Sengoku period. Like, Hakone just has its essence as well, its magical Japanese essence and vibe when you're there. And I really love the hot springs there as well. The hot springs there are amazing. Even in the little Japanese inns, a lot of them have their own little private onsens that you're able to enter, and they all have their own little appeal to it as well. And yeah, you know, those places are oh, the last place, definitely Daisetsuzan National Park, located in Hokkaido Prefecture. Oh my god, that place is just like, it's just paradise for hikers. You know, if you're into hiking and stuff like that, Daisetsuzan National Park is a must visit place in Japan, right? You know, there's beautiful landscapes there, there's beautiful volcanoes there, there's a lot of wildlife there. You know, you can go camping out there, stuff like that. And even Sapporo, the capital of Hokkaido, has its own appeal to it as well. Sapporo has a lot of history there, and the city, there's lots of things to do in the city, right? You know, so the food there is really good as well. And I highly recommend that if you visit Sapporo, you need to try melon ice cream, right? Their melon ice cream is the best ice cream I have ever had in my entire life. This is an absolute fact. They put like real melons in the ice cream, and then when you eat it, you can like taste the chunks of it. And oh my goodness, I've never, like, my brain was just stimulated with the taste. And you know, aside from what Hokkaido's famous for, which is for their ice cream and their dairy products, melon ice cream, if you have a chance, you need to try that. Okay. And oh, there is another place as well that I want to talk about, and that is Tenri. Tenri is near Nara, and you know, Nara and Tenri, they're both very beautiful places. Nara has, you know, the deer. Tenri is actually famous for ramen. So their ramen bowls are massive in size, and it just tastes fantastic, and it'll just keep you full all day. So those are my favorite places in Japan. I hope that you visit some of them if you come here, or if you already do live here and you haven't visited these places, please check them out. Thank you.